Hey there, welcome to the Daily Mix. I'm Angela Sharp. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I know I'm gonna be like everybody else, but can you believe it's August right now? I was floored when I had to turn my calendar and realize that we were like well into August by now. I was just shocked by all that because what I did, which was I think what a lot of people did, is I filled my summer, mostly with work. Hopefully you filled your summer with fun things to do since we were finally released from our homes. But now I'm like, holy cow, we're already in August. So now it's time to plan your winter fun activities. So hopefully you can start doing some of that. But you know, there's still a couple more months of summer left. We can enjoy that, come out to a Cardinals game. It'll be tons of fun. Now, you guys know how much I love the Muni. And on Tuesday, I went to go see The Sound of Music. It was so great. I love everything about the Muni. I love being there. I love watching it. I love musicals in general. And of course, it reminds me of my papa. So I just love the whole experience. But there's even more to love. Last week, the opening night of Sound of Music was a historic moment. For the first time in 103 years, the lighting engine designer was a woman. This is so cool. Her name is Shelby Loren, and she is the first female to ever do that job at the Muni. And of course, she did an excellent job. Like I said, it was a wonderful show, and the lighting was perfect. So I just think that's really cool, especially as a female, to see females kind of breaking barriers and doing really cool jobs. So congratulations to her, and we thank her because now more little girls might want to do that. Now, I don't know if you can see what's right here to my left, but I'm so excited about this. Coming up later on in the show, I have Brian Edwards from Custom Cap Art. Some of this stuff is so amazing. You can see there's a little Nelly reference, of course, City FC. And of course, I can't have anybody on my show who's got Eric Church art, not have him bring his Eric Church art with him. So of course, the Chief is right there as well. He's gonna talk about how he made all of it. I mean, this is just so cool. So I'm very excited to have Brian on to talk about his artistic endeavors. And then, you know, we'll let you know how you can keep up with them. So let's get started on today's Daily Mix. If you're a City of St. Louis resident and worried about missed rent or payments, or eviction, emergency rental assistance is available. There are 4 ways to apply, and we have those listed right there on your screen. The city is also going to be offering in-person rental assistance clinics. Now, they've partnered with Metropolitan St. Louis Equal Housing and Opportunity Council to offer 2 clinics on August 20th and 21st at St. Louis Community College Forest Park. You can learn more about the rental assistance program and apply online at stlouis-mo.gov/ERA. And as those applications are coming in, the city is looking for volunteers who can work with the community partners to help process those. If you're interested, and you can sign up at stlouis-mo.gov/ERA/volunteer. The City of St. Louis is also working hard to fill openings in the refuse division. They are now offering $3,000 hiring incentive for new refuse collectors. City employees who successfully refer individuals to those jobs will also receive a one-time $1,000 bonus. The city has more than 100 civil service jobs to fill, and they start at $15 an hour. You can view current openings and apply online at stlouis-mo.gov/jobs. The American Red Cross is currently facing an emergency need for blood donors, blood of all types. They're asking for the community to roll up their sleeve and help overcome the severe shortage. We talk about this time and time again during the summer, where there's a shortage in people donating blood, even more so during a pandemic that we're still in. Now, there are several opportunities to donate in the coming days. This Wednesday, August 11th, Comptroller Darlene Green is hosting a community blood drive from 11 to 3 in room 208 of City Hall. Next week, the 7th annual Lifesaver Blood Drive will take place on August 13th, 14th, and 16th at several locations throughout the region. Anyone who comes to donate at one of those drives will receive a limited edition Lifesaver t-shirt while supplies last. Now, as a thank you to anyone who donates blood through August 15th, the Red Cross will automatically enter them for a chance to win a VIP trip for two to the sold-out Bonnaroo Music Art and Arts Festival, which is pretty cool, but also pretty weird because we're kind of still in a pandemic, but I'm not gonna argue about all that. Now, on top of all that, anyone who comes out to give throughout August will also get a free 4-month subscription to Apple Music. That part's pretty cool too. And you know, it's always just nice to give blood if you can, because sometimes people need that. To find a blood drive near you and to schedule an appointment, visit redcrossblood.org. Now, the 13th annual Robert Classic French Film Festival kicks off this weekend, celebrating St. Louisans' French heritage and offering a revealing overview of French cinema. The festival includes significant talks about every program, featuring inductions and discussions by the film or French scholars and critics. It also provides one of the few opportunities in St. Louis to see films projected the old school way by screening from a 35mm print, which is really neat. All of the films are in French with English subtitles. And what makes this even more exciting is that this will be the first Cinema St. Louis event to be held in person since COVID-19 pandemic. The festival takes place Friday through Sunday, August 13th through the 29th at Washington and Webster Universities. You can view the full schedule, purchase tickets, and more at cinemastlouis.org. The Blues at the Arch concert series is also back. Every Friday in August, this popular end of summer celebration will be paying tribute to St. Louis's rich blues heritage while showcasing local and national artists. Like last year, this year's series is being held virtually with a new performance each week. You can stream Blues at the Arch for free on the Gateway Arch Park Foundation's website, archpark.org, and on their Facebook page. St. Louis license collector Mavis Thompson's annual Food Truck Festival returns next week. Bring your appetite to City Hall next Thursday and Friday and grab a bite to eat at some of your favorite St. Louis food trucks. They'll be set up from noon to 6 at both August 19th and the 20th on Market Street. Now, after a year of struggling to keep your balance while juggling all the changes being thrown at you and rolling with all the punches, flying above it all, you might be ready to run away and join the circus. Or you could just stay right here and join the circus. Circus Harmony is offering an array of circus classes for ages 3 through adult at the City Museum. New classes this fall include physical comedy, tight wire, and acro dance. Plus, they still have basic circus arts for adults, tumbling, aerial arts, and more. Classes start August 23rd, and they are held the 3rd floor of the City Museum. Registration closes August 16th, and class sizes are pretty small, so the sooner you sign up, the better. You can find a full list of their classes and register online at circusharmony.org. You know, I ran away with the circus once. Okay, I didn't really run away with the circus, but Circus Harmony had me come out there, and they put me on one of those giant hoops. Well, you know what? I didn't do very well at it, but I'm gonna let you watch, so check this out.
we're going to learn how to use the lyra. So the lyra is what they call the circus hoop.
Okay.
And we're going to just learn some basic techniques. And really, it's just about using your body weight and just kind of figuring out where you are in space. And then kind of learning, what I've learned is some of the fun circus moves, like pizzazzy sort of things that come along with the circus.
What have I gotten myself into for today?
Well, I think that the best way to be a reporter is to immerse yourself in your subject. So you're going to experience what it's like to join the circus.
Okay, so that was a lot of fun. I was over here already talking to Brian, who's going to be my guest. I'll talk about him in a second. But he was like, oh, look, you got it. I don't have it. That takes a lot of upper body strength and flexibility, two things I don't have, but it was a ton of fun. So if you are looking into that, you should definitely check them out. Now, I'm so excited because I am now joined by Brian Edwards of Custom Cap Art, and he's got some of his art right here. Brian, thanks so much for coming and bringing some of these awesome pieces with you today. All right, so let's kind of back up. So Custom Cap Art, you started doing bottle caps.
Correct.
Like on the city piece.
Correct. So I started out, it's a long story, cement bar taps at our house that broke. So I bought 7,000 bottle caps, covered the bar tap, and it kind of turned into a thing. So put together an American flag, which turned into a friend asking for one, and then I was like, let's get involved in charity. So I started working with the Jason Mott Foundation. And it's just progressed from there.
Okay,
So,
and then that's been really cool. And I had encountered you at Guns and Hoses with Backstoppers. So you do a lot of charity work.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of where it all started.
absolutely.
But
And
now
then-
you've kind of moved on into some other realms. And let's talk about the Nelly piece here,
Okay.
the dirty here thing first. So this is from Nelly's Anheuser-Busch can.
Yeah, limited edition Budweiser can. Starting with this, I was talking about this just a little bit ago. The details are hard to capture in bottle caps because it makes the piece bigger and bigger. So when somebody says, can you make this particular piece out of bottle caps? I'm like, I need a garage door, the size of a garage door.
Right.
So I just had to adapt and figure out a different way to work things. So now, moving on to the beer cans. I basically take the top and the bottom of the can off and build a template and image out of it. So that was that particular can. I also did one for Big Boy from Outkast. That was a few years back. Currently working on the Notorious B.I.G. limited edition Budweiser can.
And that Outkast one you ended up giving to him?
It's in his possession. I was invited to the party in Atlanta but didn't make it, but he basically sent me a message thanking me for it. So it's in his hands and hanging on his wall in his office.
Okay, so that's got to be kind of cool to know that
absolutely.
you've made something for somebody that you listen to.
Absolutely.
And they like it so much that it's hanging up in their office.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you can tell on the TV how awesome these pieces are, but I don't know that you can see how awesome I mean, in real life, they're amazing. Now, I'm going to move on to my personal favorite. So you've got the outline of basically the chief, so Eric Church. Now, this one is different. So tell me what you used to make this one.
So vinyl records before they're pressed are tiny little vinyl pellets. I had this idea to put together this image using his vinyl pellets. So there's tons of texture on this one. I couldn't tell you the number of pellets that are in there, but basically I used like a sandwich bag full of them. And use a resin, and then I build the image out of them. It turns into this, and hopefully it'll end up where it's supposed to end up.
So this one you also are anticipating giving to Eric.
Yeah, whether he keeps it for himself or uses it as a
Charity or something like that, he can do with it what. But what I love about it is that each of these, they're very different, but they're all kind of showcasing someone's fandom, if you will. Oh, there's a picture of you and Eric. So you made him the chief sign out of the bottle caps.
Yep, with a whiskey barrel.
That
stave
was
frame.
during the last tour?
That was probably about 5 years ago.
5 years ago, okay.
Yeah.
And so when you met him, was he thrilled to have that?
He wanted to know if I drank them all.
And I guess that's a great question.
No.
Did you, in fact, drink
No.
them all?
I do enjoy drinking beer, but not to that extent. The one for Eric was specifically made out of Jack Daniel's bottle caps. As you know, he's a big Jack Daniel's guy. So, and a whiskey barrel stave frame. So it was a real unique, personalized piece for him that I just thought he would like, and he did.
So now with some of the stuff, are you really a fan of these guys, and that's kind of what drives you to kind of start? I know that we do commission work for other people.
Oh, absolutely.
But when you're making something for like a celebrity, is it because you are kind of a fan of that person?
Yeah, sometimes it's either, you know, I'm a huge fan of Eric. I'm a huge fan of Nelly, obviously. He's been around for years. But sometimes somebody will commission me to make something, and then I decide that, okay, now I have a passion for this individual because I listen to the music that the people create for the artwork I'm creating. So like early on, Brothers Osborne, I listened to them, but not religiously. Then I was commissioned to make 2 pieces for Brothers Osborne, and that turned into me being at their concert last week.
And yeah, so it kind of snowballs
yeah, fuels
for you.
Yeah, it fuels the fire. I'm a huge soccer fan. When I first started doing this, my first business meeting was with the St. Louis FC, which played at Soccer Park, and my son plays soccer. So I have pieces still hanging there. And now they're no longer a team, but I'm a huge soccer fan. So I hope to do work for potentially players down the road or the club itself.
So I feel like we should talk about kind of the commission work that you do.
Yeah.
Somebody watching at home might be like, man, that's so cool. I wonder if he can do a insert object or name here. And that's kind of something you can kind of work with that person and kind of give them a guideline on how much something like that would cost and how big it would have to be. And
so for me, I explained this earlier too. It's one of those things where somebody comes to me and says, can you make this? And I'll tell them it's going to cost this much. If it's something I can do out of bottle caps, you know, it might start at this price. But if it's too detailed, I have to move on to cans. So I typically tell people I start at $200 and go up from there. So it depends on size and material. And if I'm using a specific beer can or bottle cap, sometimes it's extremely expensive because you have to buy the beer.
because you have to find all that. We're showing some of your pieces right now.
Yeah.
Kind of on,
So
on
that
the
is,
screen.
I spend a lot of time at Friar Tuck. I just walk around in the store. I look at beer labels, beer cans, beer caps. That's how I do my research.
I love. Oh wow! What is that made out of?
So, Modern Brewery and I kind of teamed up a few months ago just to do some test pieces because craft breweries use labels.
Right.
So it's a sticker that wraps the can. So this particular piece here is Jerry Garcia. Kind of gives me goosebumps even talking about it. But this picture is Jerry Garcia playing a guitar. There's a little bird sitting on the top of the guitar, but it's his brewery, and his dad's a big Jerry Garcia guy. And this picture hangs in the nurseries of all the grandkids.
Oh, that's so neat.
So this was a Father's Day gift. So every one of the colors that you see there is a different beer from Modern Brewery, which they have great beer, and they've been amazing to me.
So you are utilizing every kind of realm. And what I find so fascinating about this is that this is something that you started when you were just fixing your bar.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. So were you always a creative type person? Did you always have that, I'm good at this kind of?
No.
No.
I was into music, always. So this is just, I guess, a blend of, and I like beer. So it's a blend of music and beer. That particular piece, like I said, my wheels get turning on how I can make something different or easier. Because these cans are tough to work with.
I would imagine
Yeah.
the Nelly piece was really hard.
Yeah.
It's
The more layers.
round can that you're,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
that you're flattening out. I would imagine that's very difficult.
Yeah.
And I feel like the details on Chief are perfect, and what we have up here on our screen right now.
So Main and Mill Brewing, every one of those letters, stars, everything on there is a different beer, and those are all made from stickers.
And that's all made from stickers. Okay, and what about with the tennis shoe here?
So I'm a big shoe guy too. I'm kind of a sneakerhead, getting more and more into it. But that's all Modern Brewery can labels, and he's a big Jordan fan. They even have kind of a Jordan logo with their logo as the basketball. So things have slowed down because of the pandemic. So I spent a lot of time downstairs in the bar, and I've just put different things together. This was a commission piece here. A friend of mine came to me and said, this is the logo I want for my basement I just finished. So that's all Anheuser-Busch beer cans, and it's a very large piece. It's about 5 feet wide by 3 feet tall. So even the details of the beer inside the mug all had to be Anheuser-Busch. So.
I mean, so I'm so floored by it because I think it's so very creative.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily one who has a creative mind like that. So let's say that I was like, man, I really think it would be cool if you made, I don't know, my name. Let's say I was like, and I called you and I was like, I don't know what I want it made out of though. Would that be something you could walk somebody through,
Yeah.
like, oh, well, what are you interested in? And then kind of figure out.
Somebody has me looking into making one out of bubble gum right now.
Out of bubble gum.
Yeah. So it's hard because it's not something that I've used,
Right.
nor do I know how it's going to hold up. But like, I can do it. I just don't know 10 years from now, is it going to look like bubble gum?
Right. Is it
So
gonna?
it's strange, but
Something
yeah,
you could like. Well, all
I'll
right.
start digging.
I mean, I think it is just amazing. Let's tell everybody where they. I know that you said you're not great on the social media, but you do have social media.
It's all out there. I just don't get into the stories and everything.
I feel like I've been trying to tell him. I feel like we need the stories. We need more stories from you.
I can
So
do that.
where can somebody find out information about how they can contact you, maybe commission a piece, and more information about these pieces?
So the website is just customcapart.com, and then I'm on Instagram as customcapart, and then Twitter as customcapart. That's like my least favorite, and then on Facebook as well as customcapart.
Custom Cap Art. So that's a great way for people to be able to reach out to you
Absolutely.
directly and kind of walk through some stuff. But I'm gonna show them more because we need more stories. And I just feel like when Nellie and Eric get these two pieces, they're gonna be just thrilled with these because
Hopefully.
those are. I mean, this Nellie one. I don't know if you guys can see it quite on the TV, but I mean it's the St. Louis Nellie can. So that's Nellie right there, right dab in the middle, which is just so awesome. Like I think it's just amazing.
Yeah, they're fun to put together. And this is his record label logo, so maybe it hangs in his office or in his studio or whatever the case may be.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. You
Absolutely.
definitely need to check out Custom Cap Art just to see the photos and what he's been up to is a great entertaining way to do it. Brian, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me today.
Absolutely.
After you guys check out Custom Cap Art, make sure you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. You can drop us a line at thedailymix@stltv.net. We want to hear from you. That's going to do it for the Daily Mix. We keep it right here on STL TV and Experience St. Louis. Pay no attention to me while I steal Eric.